My mom looked me dead in the eye across the fancy brunch table and said, "You're lucky we even include you. Pity goes a long way, Emma." The entire restaurant seemed to fall silent. My sister giggled, my dad nodded, and I froze. Years of silently paying their bills, saving their home, and being overlooked. All of it boiled down to this moment. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm 31, a freelance graphic designer. Nothing flashy, nothing corporate, but I love what I do. My family? They always saw me as the artsy broke one. Madison, my sister, got the law degree, the high-paying job, the perfect life. I got art supplies and a lifetime of concerned looks. But what they didn't know, I was quietly building something big. This was our monthly brunch at the Garden Terrace, where mimosas cost $18, and appearances mattered more than reality. Mom had been making small digs about my career all morning. "Emma, honey," she said, cutting her eggs Benedict with surgical precision, "your aunt mentioned a job opening at her accounting firm. Maybe it's time for something with benefits." I took a bitter sip of coffee. "I'm doing fine, Mom." Madison laughed her perfected, high-pitched laugh. "When's the last time you had a steady paycheck?" Dad's worried sick. And Dad nodded, grave like I was a failing country rather than his daughter. When the check came, Mom reached for it theatrically. "Don't worry, Emma. We know money's tight. This one's on us." My face burned. The couple next to us glanced over. Dad added, "Maybe it's time to consider that office job your uncle mentioned. This art thing isn't really working out, is it?" Madison smiled sweetly. "At least then you could contribute instead of always being the charity case." I wanted to disappear. But I didn't. I stayed quiet and I started planning. They didn't know that my freelance art career had taken a huge turn 6 months earlier. While they were busy pitying me, I had been landing clients they'd recognize in an instant. Nike, Starbucks, Tesla, Fortune 500 companies. And yet, I drove my old Honda and lived in a modest apartment by choice. Sarah Martinez, a successful marketing executive, became my mentor 8 months before. She believed in me when my family didn't. She taught me how to present myself professionally, how to price my work, and how to stop hiding my talent. Meanwhile, Madison's wedding planning continued, with the assumption that my involvement would be a gift for free. "Emma, honey, we thought you could design the invitations. Since money's tight, your time is your contribution," Mom said. I said, "I'll think about it." The final wedding dinner came. I was seated at the kids' table. Dad patted my shoulder, explaining, "So the important people can discuss real business." Madison stood up, glass in hand, addressing the room like a Sue. "Emma's going to do our programs for free. Isn't that cute?" I calmly opened my laptop. "Actually, I need to show you something first." The first slide. Nike $15,000 for a campaign. Next, Starbucks $12,000 for packaging design. Final slide, Tesla $45,000 contract for internal presentations. Silence. Mom's fork clattered. Dad's jaw dropped. Madison turned pale. "It's very real, Mom," I said. "I've been freelancing for Fortune 500 companies for 2 years. Every time I tried to share my success, you dismissed it." I stood and walked over. "Madison, I'd love to design your wedding programs. My standard rate is $5,000. Family discount, $4,500. The room froze. Their charity case daughter just out-earned all of them combined. Next day, suddenly they were interested. Mom wanted shopping trips. Dad wanted business advice. Madison, side projects. But for the first time ever, their approval didn't matter. I didn't need their pity, handouts, or concern. I was already everything I needed to be. The real victory wasn't the money. It was knowing I didn't need anyone else to validate my worth. Has your family ever underestimated you? Drop your city in the comments and tell me your story. Let's support each other. Our dreams matter, no matter what anyone else thinks.